Alright, peeps. Julian Williams here at the distance. I got a video for you guys. I get a lot of requests in my inbox for fantasy matchups on a weekly basis. And I have really no problem with it. If you have a fantasy matchup, then just hit me up and I'll do the match. It just takes a lot of it doesn't really take too much time out of my hands. It's just like it's a lot of thinking. You know what I mean? And I don't. There's fights that I do, but there's some that I refuse to do. I don't do fights that can still happen. Still have a possibility of happening now. I don't even do those kind of fights anymore. I just do fights that are just purely based on fantasy and purely based on, even a fight from right now and a fight in the past, or two fights from the past, that possibly could have happened. But one of the most requested fights that I've gotten ever since I've done fantasy matchups has been Sugar Ray Robinson versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. It's been the most requested bout that I've had on here, other than Ali versus Tyson and Klitschko versus Klitschko. Floyd Mayweather Jr. versus Sugar Ray Robinson is probably the most highly requested fight that I get. Then that's one I'm never going to do. I will never do a Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Robinson. I'm not going to do a Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Robinson. The reason being is because we don't have Sugar Ray Robinson's fights at welterweight. We have his fights at middleweight. We have his light heavyweight fights, but we don't have his fights at welterweight. Where a lot of people have said and gone on to write that he looked spectacular in these fights, but those fights we don't have. I was able to witness Floyd a lot, pretty much Floyd Mayweather's career from '96 to currently. Last 15 years, I've been able to witness Floyd Mayweather Jr. And me personally, I believe, I'm one of those people. I believe that Floyd Mayweather is probably one of the most complete fighters of all time and the most complete of this generation of boxing. Whether or not he beat fighters from the '70s, I don't know, but I think he does have a good chance to beat some guys that are in the top 10, that are probably top 10 welterweights of all time. I think he has a good chance to defeat these kind of fighters just because of the skill that he fights on. And he incorporates skill along with athleticism, which is amazing for boxing. For his boxing ability, and it adds on to his repertoire in boxing. And Sugar Ray Robinson, actually, to be honest with you guys, I've seen a lot of Sugar Ray Robinson fights. I have 2 different DVD sets of Sugar Ray Robinson. Some of them, in both the DVD sets, they have like some of the same fights that are on each other, but I was able to witness, a lot of Sugar Ray Robinson's fights, whether they be in clips, whether they be just like, whether they, lose some rounds or whatever. I was able to listen to some sound bites and watch a lot of Sugar Ray Robinson fights and witness, the skill that he possessed, even in like his 30s, which is in his 30s, which is what Floyd Mayweather is in right now. But we missed a lot of Sugar Ray Robinson fights, when he was in his 20s, when he was younger. And, the reason being, the fact that, I've never seen any of his welterweight fights. I've seen his middleweight fights, so I can't really judge that fight. I can't, the only thing that you could really say they have in common is, the multiple weight, winning belts in multiple weight classes, and both of them going 40-0. Floyd Mayweather has gone on a little bit further, as far as his record goes, but they both have been 40-0, and when Sugar Ray Robinson was fighting, he went 40-0, and he lost to Jake LaMotta, and 40-0 until he lost to Jake LaMotta, I think, in the second fight. But it's overall, though, it's just a fight I can't do. I can't do Floyd Mayweather versus Sugar Ray Robinson. And it's not because I'm afraid to do it. It's just what's the point in doing the fight to where you're not able to witness, you weren't able to witness, a man, simply as a welterweight and fighting, and there were even moments I think he was weighing in 147, 148 against middleweight fighters, but as a welterweight champion, I don't think there's any video of Sugar Ray Robinson, despite having all the DVD sets. So, like I said, it's a fight I can't do. But I have witnessed Floyd's career as a welterweight, junior welterweight, 135, 130. I have witnessed these kind of fights. I can pretty much do Floyd against anybody else. I just can't put him up. I can't put him against Sugar Ray Robinson. You just can't. Close to impossible. If Floyd goes up to 160 in fights, maybe in a few years I can do a Floyd Sugar Ray Robinson, but I don't think he's gonna move up to 160 and fight all kinds of fights there. But anyway, peeps, I'm gonna do a Sugar Ray Robinson vid probably in the coming week or so. But anyway, peeps, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Peace.